something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, at the right time because we're going to bring the millionaire. Please answer your. Thank you. Please announce yourself. All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off.
Okay. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope everybody's feeling incredible this beautiful morning. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration expert. I'm a self-esteem development fanatic, starting with my own. And our whole goal every single morning is to help you go further, faster, with less effort. Our whole goal is to help you understand your business is worth a lot more than you think. Check it out. You're worth a lot more than you think. Don't you know it's network times self-worth that equals your net worth? It's true. Believe it or not, it's the people that you know and who know you times the way you feel about yourself that creates your net worth. It creates your value out here in the marketplace. You know, your life is God's gift to you. What you do with your life is your gift back to God. And so every single day, what we try and do is give you a little bit more power, a little bit more belief, a little bit more awareness about who you are and whose you are. We've always heard the stories about everybody from Steve Jobs to Elon Musk. We know the stories of greatness, everybody from Gandhi to Martin Luther King. We understand that perseverance is necessary with everybody from Jesse Owens to Jackie Robinson, right? But today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a guy named Colonel Sanders. What I want you to do first, though, is rep your city. Let them know where you from. Let them know where you checking in from. Let them know what kind of business you have. This is like free promotion for you. Let them know you in the house. Good morning, Yuli. How you feel, Queen? Good morning, Dorsey Lynn. Let's go. Let's go. My man Flono checking in from the ATL. Vanessa's in the house. Good morning, millionaire. What up, David Ruffin? This show wouldn't be nothing without David Ruffin. Shakayla is in the house. Good morning, Queen. Cynthia Murray, good morning, good morning. Let them know we in the house. Share this with somebody. Alexandria, good morning, millionaire. Let's go, Iona. Let's get it, let's get it. Miss Woods in the house. Let's go, let's go. My man Ken checking in. Let them know you in the house, Miss Mandy. Let them know where you checking in from. We want to know what kind of business you have. Check it out, y'all. What we're going to do this morning is we're going to cover 7 really inspiring lessons that you can get from Colonel Sanders, that you can get from this whole story about KFC. Anybody here ever eaten KFC? I ain't saying it's something we necessarily proud of, right? You know, but I just want to see show of hands if you at least have ever had KFC. Because what we're going to talk about this morning is some lessons you can get. I know that was food, but we're going to give you some food for thought. I don't care if you're 25 or you're 75 years old, you're going to be able to get something from this morning's training. So do somebody you love a favor and share this with them. You know what I mean, Ruby? Share it with them, Ruby. Let them know we in the house. Let them know we in the house. All right. Yeah, Taisha made it in. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, KFC used to be hitting on something. It used to be bussing, like the kids say. All right. All right. So what we're going to do is a few lessons. Here's the first one I got for you. Some of you know, some of you don't. But Colonel Sanders wasn't able to sell his recipe until he was 75 years old. He was rejected over 1,009 times. Somebody typed this in the comments. Failure breeds success. A lot of times people think that failure is the opposite of success. But check it out. Failure is a gift. What I want you to understand is that adversity is opportunity. Sometimes people say, how do you keep your mindset so strong even when you're in the midst of chaos and crisis? It's because I recognize you can only win or learn. So why would I get upset? Why would I be hurt somehow by learning when I'd rather learn at this $100 level a lesson that I can use at the $1,000 level? Or I would rather learn at this $1,000 level the lesson that I can use on the $10,000 level or the $100,000 level. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Colonel Sanders was rejected over 1,000 times before he was successfully able to sell this Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe. That's a whole lot of rejection, millionaires. Not only that, But this is a guy, Colonel Sanders, I'm talking about, who failed miserably at every other career that he ever attempted. Between the ages of 10 and 40 years old, Colonel Sanders tried his hand at everything from conducting streetcars to farming to law to sales to firefighting. And this just goes to show you that no matter how much your experience is allegedly a failure, there's still time. This just goes to show you that no matter how old you are, there's still time. Millionaires, I'm going to say it again in case you missed it. He was rejected exactly 1,009 times before he was able to sell this KFC recipe. In addition to this, he failed at every job he ever turned to in his life. After a lifetime of facing failure, millionaires, he finally sold KFC at the ripe old age, at the ripe young age of 75 years old. I want you to really get that. One of his lessons, right? He was like, he only has 2 rules. Do all you can and do it the best you can. It's the only way you'll ever feel fulfilled. That reminds me of something that my mentor always says, Mr. Les Brown. He's always like, do all that you can do and it will be enough, but you must do all that you can do. You know what I'm saying? Here's the second one I got for you. It's never too late. Somebody say it's never too late. It's never too late. That's the next one I want you to throw down. It's never too late, Miss Johnson. It's never too late. Give it to him. It's never too late. When Colonel Sanders was 75, roughly, he finally sold Kentucky Fried Chicken for $2 million. In today's money, that would be about $100 million, right? Can you imagine experiencing such a win after a lifetime of losing? Can you imagine that? Somebody say it's never too late. It's never too late. I've met people who think they're over the hill when they're in their 30s. Can you imagine? Colonel Sanders is going hard in the face of adversity and ends up as the founder and the face of a brand that we're still familiar with 50, 60 years ago. And this man didn't get started until his 70s. Can you imagine that? Somebody say it's never too late. It's never too late. You know, some of y'all are in your 50s, some of y'all are in your 60s, and you counting yourself out. Somebody say it's never too late. Send this to somebody who might not be no wet behind the ears rookie. They might not be no spring chicken, but you know it's never too late. Y'all hear what I'm saying to you? It's never too late. This is important. Share this with an entrepreneur. It's never too late. Here's lesson number 3 I got for you. The past is in the past. If you're going to be successful as an entrepreneur, a lot of times you're going to need to learn the past is in the past. And the past will only define your future chance of success if you let it. You hear me? It doesn't matter how many times you failed. Doesn't matter where you've come from. Doesn't matter what negative things you've experienced in the past or done in the past. Your past does not hold the only key to your future. You hear me? Again, the Colonel failed at every career he ever attempted. I want you to get that. He even spent much of his life in an unhappy marriage, right? That ended up in divorce. And now he had 3 kids to take care of by the time he was 19. Now, for most people, that'd be enough for them to just settle down into some unfulfilling crap job. But the Colonel pressed on with faith. The Colonel pressed on with a belief in his own abilities. Do you hear me? A belief in his own principles. Somebody say the past doesn't define the future. The past doesn't define the future. Can somebody give me that for number 3? The past doesn't define the future. Here's number 4 I got for you. Somebody give it to me. Your past doesn't define your future. Here's what I got for you for number 4. You ready, Shelly? You ready? You ready? Let's get it. Here's number 4. Giving up is the only way to fail. Giving up is the only way to fail. Giving up is the only way to fail. Failure is a natural side effect of life. The story of Kentucky Fried Chicken tells us that the only way to fail is to quit. If you have the same outlook, right? If you have faith in what you're trying to do, the possibility of significant success is never off the table. Millionaires, giving up is the only way to fail. Even when you see the clock ticking, even when you see the sands running out through the hourglass, right? You see the days and the years flashing by. Ain't no time limit on being a success. Never stop searching for that light at the end of the tunnel. KFC ain't even the only story that'll inspire you like that. Right now in the movies, there's a movie about George Foreman. Anybody know the name of that? If somebody knows the name of that George Foreman movie, please type it in so I can share it with everybody else. But if you understand that this man became heavyweight champion in his late 40s, it might give you a little bit of inspiration. You hear me? Here's lesson number 5 I got for you. Everybody with me? Here's number 5. A fresh start is sometimes all you need. A fresh start is sometimes all you need. You think it's called Big George Jamal? I can't think of it. Somebody Google it and let me know. Yeah, Alexandria. The past doesn't define your future, and giving up is the only way to fail. That's exactly right. All right, here's number 5. A fresh start is sometimes all you need. Now we see cooking was a passion of Colonel Sanders, right? But what if I told you he ain't discovered that till a lot later in life? And what if I told you it's only through him having the courage to fail and start over again and again and again and again that he was able to discover his real calling? You get it? When you try to succeed in multiple disciplines, that's how you burn yourself out, because none of them really give you fulfillment. You're just chasing dopamine, right? Check it out. What's always the hard part is finishing. Starting ain't that hard for most of us. Most of us love to start something brand new, right? But I'm going to tell you something. Most people wouldn't even want to start if they're in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s. They would look at that as something that'd be absolutely exhausting, right? The energy and the passion that Colonel Sanders showed by doing this well into his 70s, boy, that's a lesson for an entrepreneur. You hear me? Here's another lesson. Number 6, take a leap of faith. You hear me say all the time, Peter walked on water too. But first he had to step out on faith. Peter walked on water too. He ain't got to be God's favorite. You know, a lot of times we look at it, we say, well, of course he can do it. You know, Jesus, you know, that's God's son and whatnot. But Peter walked on water too. It's just first he had to step out on faith. It ain't no great shock, y'all, to learn that following your heart's desire is a lot of times the key to success. It's a lot of times the key to happiness, the key to contentment. Why is it then that so many of us won't chase after what we really want from life? Sitting back and relaxing into your comfort zone means that a bunch of us don't realize how vital passion and desire really are. In the end, the pursuit of a passion will make anybody happy. It'll make anybody content. It'll make anybody prosperous. But you got to remember, every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. Every failure can be a stepping stone to something better. And this is the last one I got you, y'all. This is the last one I got you. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. I know this sounds crazy because Kentucky Fried Chicken is now in like 145 countries. But he started off selling grilled chicken on the side of the road. Do you hear me? Even after selling his business, the business grew super quick and all of that, right? And now you see the franchises all over the world, like I said, in 145 different countries. But the lesson here is never be afraid to keep things simple. As long as you're willing to start, as long as you're willing to work hard, as long as you're willing to keep at it, things got to grow. Things got to grow. Work always works because it's the work you're doing on the project, and then there's the work the project is doing on you. You know, it looked like it was a failure that he didn't do well at his sales job, but no, he brought all of those skills back to when he was selling his own stuff. You get what I'm saying to you? A lot of times there are entrepreneurs inside of us, but we put it off. We put off starting a venture. We put off launching a website. We put off putting out the book, whatever it might be, because they simply don't believe they're big enough to make a start. Here's the last thought I'm going to leave you with, and then we go in and do our affirmations. Somebody write this in the comments. I want to make sure that this resonates with you. You ain't got to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. Somebody give me that in the comments and we out of here. You ain't got to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. Am I making sense to somebody? I hope so, man. I hope so. Because if you can just understand that part and that you have nothing to fear but fear itself, if you could just understand that part and the fact that no matter when you start, your first is going to be your worst. If you could just remember that part and understand that, like, a baby's not a bad person because the baby doesn't know how to walk in the beginning. The baby's just learning. The baby's just figuring it out. And why don't the baby give up? It's because the baby is surrounded by other people who are walking. You get what I mean? The baby's like, oh, I must be able to figure it out because this is what we do around here. You get what I mean? We walk. The problem is if around you walking is making $30,000 a year instead of $30,000 a month. The problem is if everybody you see walking is in bad marriages and bad relationships, so you begin to normalize toxic ways of dealing with each other. The problem is if walking is everybody around you is eating poison, nobody's working out, nobody's caring about their health. You get what I'm saying to you? What we've got to do is make sure that we surround ourselves with people that are walking the way we want to walk. You ain't got to be great to start, but you do got to start to be great. It's affirmation time, y'all. I hope this was helpful. Please spread this to an entrepreneur if you want to learn it really fast. There are 4 different letters, FAST. The first one is a Facebook group. Make sure you join the Facebook group. It's called Entrepreneurship. Whoever told you about the call can tell you about the Facebook group, or you can write in to Dear Millionaire that you see down there, and then we'll get it to you. The A is for accountability partner. Make sure you match up with an accountability partner. Talk to somebody in your life that owns a business, even if they've never done business with you. If they own a business, maybe you ask them, you say, hey, let's hold each other accountable to being better. Let's get ourselves out of this whole rut that we're in. And in the next 6 months, let's have a whole different life. I've got an idea. Let's get together on Good Morning Millionaire, or let's get together and learn something. I'm going to hold you accountable to what you say you're going to apply from that morning's class. You hold me accountable too. Now we got a friendship that's based on something more than selling each other something. You got me? So that's the A, accountability partner. The S is subscribe. Turn on your notifications. Make sure you click that little bell that's up there, them 3 dots up there. If you're watching on YouTube, it's a bell. If you're watching on Facebook or LinkedIn, there are 3 dots somewhere around there. Subscribe, turn on your notifications. And then the T is teach something to somebody, or put your takeaway in the comments. So that's the F for Facebook group, the A for accountability partner, the S for subscribe, and then the T for give your major takeaways. I hope this was helpful, y'all. Use that to learn it fast, FAST. And right now, it's time to say our affirmations. Repeat after me, say it like you mean it. Here we go. I am so happy.